6 minutes after the hour, now we are back in the studio to have our conversation. My guest in the studio is Yaw Preko. We all used to call him Yaw Rush. And he's currently the U15 national team coach of of Ghana, U15 national team coach. He has some serious boys in that U15 squad that if we keep them properly and do the right things, the sky will only be the limit. Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you, Phil.
And how are you doing?
By His grace.
Charlie, you're looking good, though.
We thank God.
And you're looking very sharp and fit.
Football stress is making us.
But you're not too stressed, are you? You're enjoying it too because that's your passion already.
Charlie, whether you like it or not, you are in. So we have to manage it.
Is there pressure?
Pressure
To deliver?
Coaching in Ghana, bro. A lot of pressure, but a lot of pressure. The fundamental is it's not good. It's not good. So the pressure.
We'll come to your U15 team because recently you played in the CAF schools competition and you guys were beaten by Tanzania? Tanzania.
Yeah.
Who went on to win the cup, right?
Cup,
okay, so we'll talk about that. But tonight, Arsenal is playing in the Champions League semi-finals. You're a Man U fan?
Yeah, strong Man U fan.
Unfortunately.
Very unfortunate. but we know we'll get there.
My cousin Sparrow too is a Man U fan.
We know we'll get there. You know, to be a Man U fan, you have to have the heart. You get me?
Hey, then what will Arsenal people say? Because we can't get the Olympics. So.
Arsenal is Olympics, yes. We had our moments.
Yeah.
You know, United, we've had our moments. I met a small boy. He's just 8 years old, and he said he's a Man U fan. I was like, hey, what do you know about football? Are you telling me you're a Man U fan? And I told him, keep knocking. You go places.
You get
that
there.
Spirit for you to love Man U, because nowadays we call them the millennium boys. They are all City fans, Chelsea.
Yeah.
But hardly will you see a kid coming up
to say Man United.
To say Man U.
Maybe there's some influence somewhere.
Yeah.
That's that. But Arsenal in the Champions League semi-finals, you saw them against Real Madrid. You saw them in their other qualifiers to get to this level. You think they have a realistic chance of winning it?
I think they have what it takes. They've come of age. And I like what... it's difficult to admit, but so far, I think they are playing, one of the best, football in England. And you could see the departments, how they move from one department to another before they get to the final third. And everything works. For them to be playing, Ghanaians are saying he's playing Partey as a right back. But when the game starts, Partey is no more the right back. He joins the midfield, and the back become three, and when they are defending, they shift. But I think they have what it takes to get to the finals, and they can win it if they are able to jump the hurdle. No. I have a lot of Arsenal brothers. Yeah, and I used to tease them. The last time you won a cup, we don't even know where to find the cup. We don't
have one.
but this season, the new format of the Champions League. If you are able to, pick your games, you can win it hands down. And for them, everybody was saying, if they've been able to beat Madrid, Madrid wasn't a match for Arsenal. They played tougher oppositions this season than Madrid. Madrid were just Madrid. They were
the name. The injuries and the players. Yeah,
they played tougher oppositions than Madrid, and
in the run up to this level, they even beat PSG also in the group stages.
And they don't. Arsenal don't win a match by fluke. They, especially in the Champions League, they won matches that you saw the shape of the team, the intensity, the ideas of the coach, set pieces. For Arsenal, 20 years back, we know they always concede when it comes to set pieces, you know, under the previous coaches. But for them to have a set piece trainer and winning matches through set pieces, I mean, things has changed. And whether we like it or not, I think they have what it takes to win the Champions League.
But PSG is not a pushover.
Yeah, but they have, you know, what the attack of PSG, Dembele and the others, you know, they might give Arsenal's, but to penetrate through the Arsenal's defense also is also going to be difficult. It's going to be a very interesting game, but I don't count Arsenal out.
How do you think this will affect Arsenal, the absence of Partey and Rice?
Oh, well, yeah. It you know, Partey. I think Partey has really developed.
Yeah.
You know, he's enjoying his football, and Rice. I think he's for the past 2 months he's been one of the best in the league. And the Champions League, you know, you meet clubs that are not. It's different from the English league. You get it? You won the Champions. I remember when United won it with Rooney and Ronaldo's and the rest. You know, they went through until they met Chelsea, and Chelsea tried to stop that party. But you know, the mentality of the English players when they are playing the Champions League is a different ballgame altogether. And with Rice, I think he deserves. Personally, I think this season he deserved to be the best player in the English league because he brought so many pieces into the Arsenal team. He's a holding when we knew as a holding, but for Arteta to get that, you know, to add that attacking spirit to his game, and he goes forward without hesitating, you know, and he gets there and utilizes his chances. And to add up, he's scoring free kicks. The Beckhams burn it like Beckham, and now it's like burn it like what? Rice. And I think he'll be missed. Because the energy, the Lampard energy, getting in the box and coming back to
pure
defend, box to box. You know, apart from Lampard, we've not seen players. We didn't know when he was in Westland. We didn't know he had that one in him until he came to Arsenal. So I think he'll be missed. You will miss these two players. But if you are able to, you know, hold PSG before in this game, you're playing home, right?
Yeah.
If you are able to, I think even if you lose this game, it's still not down when you go
to France.
Yeah, you go to France because now we're not playing. It's not win at home, win away match.
No, it's not away goals.
It's not away goals. So it's always 50-50. Yeah.
Well, so at least then you're looking at possibly Arsenal in the finals to play against who? Barcelona or Inter?
Barcelona.
Ron Arsenal.
Yeah, Ron Arsenal. But you've played them before. I'm hoping to see Arsenal Barcelona. I love Barcelona. I like Barcelona. I like the flair of Barcelona. You know,
they get too many referee supports.
When it's not their fault. The referees
loves them.
They love football. They love good football. They love referees. Some referees they can't help it. You know, when you moving the ball in a manner that they feel like, you know, you also need a little bit of, you know, push, which is everywhere, you know. So it's not that the referees are, but give them a credit. They have what it takes to.
I'm supporting Inter against Barca.
Inter, the almost supporters, be bro. Since when we know Ghanaians love AC Milan, and now every Ghanaian is talking about Inter.
Yeah, it's a strategic loving. It's a strategic loving. Otherwise, Charlie, you know.
With Ghanaians used to love AC Milan because of George, and before then when these Dutch Gullit and the Rijkaard and the trio. What's the name? And Van Basten. Yeah. We were all.
Those Dutch trio.
You get me?
Yeah.
When the English, the Italian league was dominating world football, we were all AC Milan supporters.
Franco Baresi.
Yes. We call them men at work.
Yes.
Keep
Proper men.
Yes.
Paolo Maldini. Yes. All of them.
Every weekend, you're going to meet.
Albertini, Costa Queta. All those players.
We've seen football.
Oh, yes.
We've seen football. We've seen football.
Great. Anyway, all right. So from the Champions League, let's come back home. We'll come into a lot of things that you have done. You've coached some of the local clubs as well. I remember your time recently with the Okagud Olympics, and you managed to beat Hartlepool in some.
Always.
They haven't forgotten about that.
My people.
But you are the coach of the U15 national team. Now the boys that played in the schools competition were. You didn't handle them.
No, I didn't.
Yes. What's the difference between that squad and your squad?
It's a little bit complicated, but mine is the national U15, and this one is like inter-schools.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is like inter-schools.
So the schools.
Yes, and mine U15 is also made out of students.
Okay.
Yeah. So majority of my boys could play for the
inter-schools. Okay.
The only difference is the Kobolo boys. I can have Kobolo boys in my setup.
Okay.
And the Kobolo boys cannot play because most of them
are not in school.
So that's the only difference.
So just for those of you who probably not understand the Kobolo, Kobolo is not derogatory. It's just to show that some who are in school.
Yeah.
It's a term that we used to use when we were young. When Kobolo, school, Kobolo. Means it's not going to school, not that it's derogatory or an insult or anything.
Yeah, because if I go
in this modern times,
to the backyard and I see a 14-year-old boy who doesn't want to go to school, he can't remember the last time he was in class. And I feel like he has what it takes. He's a course player and he has what it takes to join the national team. I'll pick him, but we can't pick him.
For the schools. So who was handling the schools one?
A coach from Danso from Bechem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also a teacher.
Right. How well did the boys do? I mean, you saw them play. We had a conversation with you in the course of the week during that tournament. How well did the boys play?
I think they did well. I think they did well, and playing, especially playing home. The pressure is always very high. I have 8 of my boys. The boys I took to Israel, a tournament in Israel, and we won it. So majority of the boys I took to Israel, they when we came back, the 8 of them joined this group, and I think the tournament in Israel helped them. Because 5 days in Israel, played against different clubs and won it, and even a top scorer was from my group. The best goalkeeper the best player was from my group, and when we came back, they had to join this group, and they showed it that they were out there, they went out there. Showcase their capabilities, and they came back. But I thought, when you hosting and win, especially in Ghana, is always difficult.
Yeah.
Even when we had the Asians and CAN 2008, before the tournament, the setup, we knew this team will go to the finals at all costs. But one mistake against Cameroon, and it's the same thing against the defending champions, Tanzania. Just one mistake, and it's just a 20 minutes game, and you need to apply a lot of stuff. But we couldn't, break the.
Tanzania eventually won the tournament. Right?
Yes.
So they defended their tournament.
Yes, they defended it and they won it. And I think I'm proud of the boys that joined from my side. That joined, the team. I think I saw what I've been teaching them from afar. I saw the way they were implementing it and directing those their colleagues on the pitch. And I think even though they didn't win it, it's not the end. It's the beginning, and the next step should be the most important.
So from there, from the U15, they are moving to because you are doing U15
and Lamte
is doing U16,
and Frimpong is doing U17.
Okay. So there should be a transitional
move, which is very important.
So how are you guys collaborating to ensure that the transition is successful?
I think
but that has been one of Ghana's main problems.
Yes. I know one of I was watching the game with one of the Abu from Tema United. He's one of the youth development and Qatar. We had a meeting with the coaches. We all need to come together so that the transition will be more smoother because we are lacking that one. We are lacking that one because if I am because I'm in the U15, I catch them young, and if I pick good players and they don't move to the next stage, then my job is not.
As a development coach, I mean, there are different categories of coachings. I mean, but you have positioned yourself in a way that you develop most of these young kids, even though you've actually handled bigger clubs and all that. But what do you look out for as a development coach when you are scouting for these boys?
A lot. Character, in terms of their skills, you have to sharpen their skills. Some of them, most of them, they come very raw. And when it comes to the U15, we don't have enough because they go to school. So we don't get them like those days, the starlets and those the olden days when we could go to camp for about 3-4 months, but these people you can only get them when they are on vacation. So I think the coaches, their club coaches, they have to help us, take the weeds out of their game. And I think when it comes to development, sometimes you just let them enjoy themselves. You let them when to stop the game and when to correct them and how to correct them and the words that come out of your mouth, because some of them, they can't take it. You have to know individually how they receive, information, and you use it to build, the player, because we've all been there when our coaches used to just shout at you at any house. Sometimes they enter the pitch with canes and be chasing. I remember those days in the 80s when we played against, there was one Shooting Stars, you remember? Yeah. At the Olympic Park. I was playing for Fireman and
African League.
Then somewhere in the 60th or 70th minute, and we saw one of their coaches with a cane. And the game was ongoing, and we thought they are chasing a thief, or the referee had to stop the game and all over there, and that was a different style. But we've moved on, so you can't use the same, because the era has changed, and we all need to do the right thing, and for us to get the best out of the players, we have to implement different strategies, and so that we can.
Did you identify some of the kids who played in the tournament, that you could actually push into your team?
Yeah, the John Ando was my boy already. Yeah, I picked John Ando 2 years ago. And he's been the boy from the U15, and then Emmanuel Jonando was wearing the 8, and then the Hakim, the one wearing 11, then Dra, the 17 shirt, and then the 15 shirt. They are all my boys, and I also have the son of one of your boys, Nia Iwebek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his son was one of my center backs. He was also part of the team. So they played a huge role in the team from the beginning of the.
But with those who were not originally part of your team, did you identify some of them, the schoolboys?
No, some the beginning of when I was playing, I was doing my before the Israel tournament. We had a justify your inclusion, and some of these boys from this team came to justify the inclusion, but they couldn't make it because the players I had there were better. But I was happy to see them, especially the striker, the 9 shirt. He came.
So some say that one of the problems Ghana has always had is overage of our players. If we're going to get good progression, then we must use the correct ages. Do you see that happening?
Yeah. I think. I don't know whether you were at the stadium.
No, unfortunately, I wasn't.
Yeah. Professor Minta, he when we had a meeting at the FA, he specifically point out, like you said, the age thing. We have to, for us to get the good players, and we have to make sure that we do the right thing, because time has changed. Time has changed, and for you to get the best, you have to start. You have to catch them young, and. I picked a 13-year-old boy from a Banana Inn. You should see this boy play.
Yeah. You mentioned the other time.
Yeah, you love him. I call him Maestro. Senna is the name for me. He's the captain of the Banana Inn coast team.
Okay.
And when I see majority of my boys, they are all up and coming. I see greenhorns. And when I see greenhorns like this, I feel like these are the players, to impact whatever that you've learned into them. And
then it means that after U15, New Dati has a lot of work to do. Because you start the polishing.
Yes.
He must continue the polishing.
Beautiful.
And then move on to the next person.
Exactly.
to finish it up.
Exactly.
And then before they
MRR is another problem. So there should be always plan B. That's why the U18 is there. If by mistake, because this MRR is very tricky. Sometimes twins, one will pass, the other one will fail. When I was with Zito, we had twins. One passed and the other.
It's good the MRI didn't come in your time.
Okay, when it came in,
it's very good it didn't come in your time.
Nigerian said, "Na machine bomb picking." Na machine bomb picking. Like I said, because the MRR, the time of our time, we had players that, funny enough, some of them we were so skinny.
Yeah,
we could pass the MRR.
Yeah.
Majority others too will be changed out of the.
There was a player I know. We'll come to your coast time, but there was a player I know that if the MRI was there, there was no way the MRI will catch him. He will still pass, even if he's 70 years and wants to still play for the national under-17 team. Abdul Karim Mijima.
The late
Abdul Karim Mijima. Yes. Mijima never changed from the way he was. I mean, Abdul Karim Mijima was a beautiful player.
Yes.
And, his was so smallish. And
even after retirement, he was still looking
the same. Yes.
He was still looking the same until he passed on. Mijima was you could see Midima, you meet Midima, and you will still say he's
under 17.
He's under 17.
Yes.
So
Willie Brown couldn't have passed it.
no. What charger? Hey, with that muscles, you break the machine.
Let's look at your Colts time. I mean, let's transit from the U15, U16 and stuff. Let's come to your Colts time. Yadadan So discovered you, and you were at Firearm earlier.
Yes.
Before you moved to Powerlines.
Yeah.
So, where did he find you?
Way back, I think somewhere 84, early 84. There, we played Powerlines at Kotobabi here.
It was February 84.
FA Cup.
Yes.
FA Cup.
February 84.
Yeah, February 84.
Yes.
I feel. We played Powerlines at Kotobabi, and then we beat them home and away.
Yes.
And Fireman, we paraded. Those days, all the Medina young kids were playing for Fireman.
Yeah.
So we came and we love our owner. He loves these tiny boys to come in. We had Kwesi Polo and the Kwesi goalkeeper. So we played Powerlines here. We beat them FA Cup, and then the return match they came to Medina and we eliminated them. And so couple of months later, the owner of Fireman himself, he said he's had enough of football. He doesn't know why he's doing football, and we are wasting his money. And so they should get rid of
the players,
the team, and so our coach named then was a certain man named we called him. His name is Nyako, but we called him Captain. He was very known in Medina. So he pushed all of us he met Lada. So he brought all of us to Kotobabi, and we trained with the team, and they picked the best. And I think he brought almost 22 players, and we were 22 players. I think only about 3 or 4 players didn't make the grade. He picked all the 20. He added the boys, Kotobabi boys from Kofodia. So we had a bunch of foreign like Accra-based power lines, and then 1 or 2 Kotobabi boys, and that's where everything started. Yeah.
How old were you then?
I was a teenager, early teens. I was early teens, and I was just playing football for fun. For fun. It wasn't playing to get something out of it.
Yeah.
And when we had a bus, Ladaso had a bus that would pick us from after school. After school, we pick us from from Medina to Kotobabi, and then we'll train with a team. 6 o'clock, 6:15 there, the bus will go and drop us back in. Or sometimes they will move the players from here to UPSA Park. Then the rest of us will meet the team there, and then we'll train at it was a Sakura pitch. You remember those?
Yeah.
We'll train there, and then they will drop us at Medina, and then the bus will come. And then Saturdays the bus will come to Medina and pick, because the core of the team is
in Medina.
It's in Medina. We'll pick us, and then we'll come and play. And then after the game, we'll be giving 40 CDs then. And that
was a lot of money.
That was a lot of money. Yeah. 40 CDs, the whole of the week. When your father add your top money to it,
you are sorted.
You are sorted, bro. So we're coming for that 40. So our nickname was one of our officials. One of our officials, he has passed on. He didn't join the team to Kotobabi. So every time he sees us, he calls us 40 boys, because we loved, we were enjoying, and Lanazu wasn't getting anything out of it. The only thing he was getting is they started winning matches. Was the only thing that's. It
looks like all those people at the time who were doing codes I mean, they didn't make anything out of it. I mean, I had a conversation with Adika and Sonny Halifax and all of them here a couple of weeks ago, and it was just because of the passion. I mean, they didn't make anything out of football.
You're right.
It was just a passion.
You're right, because the amount of money, Power Lines, every 2 years or every month we will bring out new jerseys. And then those days it was Wavi or what's the name? There was one in Newtown, Wavi and it was expensive though, but because they love.
Yeah.
And then we were not wearing football shoes.
Yeah.
So you don't have a problem in terms of, but
boots,
you must get the players bandage
or anklets,
or hose. Fireman, we used to have red hose because our top was red and red hose, and with that boot, the way you love
feel
it
good.
when you put it, feel good, and they I like you said, when the old administrators, it wasn't about money, because we were cosplayer, and who are you going to sell a cosplayer to? To House of Folk or to Kotoko or not? It's just to make it probably you might end up playing for a third division somewhere, for him to be proud that once upon a time you passed.
That's my boy,
and we managed to step up from Power to other clubs. And
I mean, when you were growing up, who did you look up to in terms of footballers?
John Nketiah Yosin.
That's why he was the 7.
Yes. John Nketiah Yosin. It was I think we went to stadium Curtain Raiser, those days.
Curtain Raiser. The coach class who played Curtain Raisers.
I wasn't a House of Folk fan though.
Okay.
My house, we grew up as Kotoko people, so I didn't care about House. But I always listened to Kotoko, but I didn't get the opportunity. I got the opportunity to meet Kotoko players when they came to Medina. They used to come to Medina camping. The Zitos, the Pukuntis, and the 80s squad. We used to go there and fetch water for them. But to see them play was difficult. You can only see them when you go and play
Curtain Raiser. But when you finish that one, you become a ball boy.
Then you become a ball boy. Yeah. So I had the opportunity to Fireman. We had the opportunity to play one of our matches, and that was when I saw John Nketiah Yosin. I was like, damn. Then I was also a winger, and I was like, I want to play like this, man. I want to play, and I just studied him for just 190 minutes. And I picked up, those days, all the wingers were always on the line.
Yeah.
They always want to go to the line
and give a cross.
But Nketiah was more, he'll cut in and play 1-2. And I used to dress like him,
You tuck in the front and leave the back.
Oh, bro. Oh, Charlie. Tuck in the front and leave
the back.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
And then the shirt will be.
Yeah, the air will blow.
I learned that from it. And, up to now, I used to talk about him, but I've not met him.
You've never met him?
No.
Wow.
Yeah. He's my friend on Facebook. But
you should meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should meet
him. I have to meet him before, I have to. And it should be a special day for me, because he changed my style of Coast, I was more like I was a striker, and Kwesi Polo was the winger.
Where is Kwesi Polo?
Kwesi Polo is still living in Medina.
Wow.
Diobe. He's still living in Medina, and he's still playing. The Oldies is one of the best players in the Oldies league. When you see Polo playing, you ask him to go and join in any of the Premier League. He still has that energy, and he doesn't get injured. It's not like us, both knees, ankles, and Polo.
Because that time, Polo, Shabashi, all those boys. Yes.
Shabashi, I don't think he even know where the football is. But Polo is always playing.
Wow.
Kwesi. They play. I think last week I spoke to Kwame, and he said my Mondays they played against Madina
Abalishi.
Madina Abalishi.
Okay.
Polo, as usual, destroyed them. We played the oldies when we started the oldies. I played against him, Medina, with the Nicolas Ados, and we played against them in Kotobabi. And I was like, you guys were all power lines for my players. So why are you playing for Medina? And they want me to come and play for Medina because I'm from Medina. And I said, no, I'm from Kotobabi, so I'm the Kotobabi captain. Polo wanted to kill us. But at the end, penny.
So where do you go?
From Power Lines, I was a one-man team, one-man player. Power Lines, I started with Power Lines and then I ended with Power Lines. From Power Lines, I joined House of Folk.
Oh, okay.
So from Power Lines, I was with Power Lines when I joined Starlets.
89.
88
to 89. Okay.
89, yeah. I joined. So from Coles, I went to Starlets camp. And because those days we could, stay in camp for a very long period, I didn't play much for the second division team. From Coast, I joined the second division, but I can count how many matches I played because HUJF didn't want us to go and play matches. But then we had the likes of Osekojo, Anthony, Baba Musa, the Kotoko under 20 players that could just go back home and play for the under 20s. And if you are not playing for under 20s, if you are not a Premier League player, you stay in camp. So I was a second division player, but I wasn't allowed to go and play. So I can count how many matches I played for Powerline second division. Then from Scotland, I had to join.
At the time you were called into 89 squad, who was coach? Okwai. Okay. It was Johnny Shen who invited me. Okay. I played we played in Interschools, Greater Accra, Interschools, and we played against Starlets friendly match at the Accra Sports Stadium. Then Coach Wahab, Mr. Wahab was in the Greater Accra schools, and we were beaten 3-0. Then Starlets, they had Udro Malik, and Kevin Asians, and they were on fire. They destroyed us. But also, Domino at that time had won Coast Player of the Year 84-85. Yeah, thereabout. So I was asked to come in the squad. Okaite, the late Samuel Okaite, spoke to Johnny Shen. He asked me to come in and try it out. First training, I think my relationship with the players helped. My first training, they took me in right away. And it was a difficult squad for you to just get in. Who were the players you met there? Kwara, Baba Musa, Ahmad Ade, Khalilu Dramani. Khalilu we played against. I was in my first match with Starlets. We played against Wise in second D, and that's I was after the game. Khalilu joined it. So I joined a couple of weeks before Khalilu came. Okay. Then it was Hope Sewanu, Midima, Alesopoku, Willie Brown, then Nilamte, obviously. Who else? Then we had this Kotoko boy, one of the best. Then we have Opare from Dwarfs, the late Michael Opare. Yes, and Willie Brown, of course. One Kofi. I think he passed on from Olympics, left footer. Ose Kofi. I don't remember him. Ose Kofi. He I think he scored the only goal for us when we played Cameroon in Cameroon to qualify us to the World Cup. We beat Cameroon 1 here, and when we got to Douala, it was raining like hell, and we were wearing the wrong shoes. Rubber boots. Yes, and they came out with stars like that. First 10 minutes were already down. Oh, hey. And I think they scored the second goal, and then Osekofi equalized. Osekofi, pulled one back, and we managed to defend till when we had
Baba Musa, Khalilu Dramani, and the rest at the back. So I met Pipi met me. Pipi
Benadai.
Yeah, Benadai came in later. After those days, you could even if you can't make the age during the tournament, you can play the qualifier. Yeah. So I think Jose Kofi qualified us, and then Pipi came in. Benadai came in, replaced us.
Wow.
I met this goalkeeper. Kwekuchere, Robberman, Chasai, Kofi Mia. Barnes was part of the team.
Was part of the team.
Yes, part of the team.
And Kofi Mia as well.
We had men. We had men.
Men at work.
Keep right. From the north, it was divided. You get me? We had players from
all over.
From Tamale,
you played some of the most scintillating football in Scotland. You had 3 draws in that tournament, and you couldn't move to the next stage of the competition. But it was quite obvious that Ghana was cooking something. Then came 1991, and then you guys went to Italy. There were new additions to the team when you guys were going. Ali Jara had joined the team. Kisi had also joined the team together with Beno. And then Isaac Asari. Isaac Asari was in 89, was he?
90% of the 91 squad
moved
to 89 squad.
Moved to 91.
Because
you were 15. At the time, you were 15 when you were going to 89.
89.
So by the time you was ready for Italia 91.
And then they pushed the age to 17. Because Scotland was under 16.
Under 16. JVC under 16. Yes.
Then it was 91, it became under 17.
Yes.
So
because Nigeria won it in 85.
85.
Yes. With Henry Nwosu and all those guys.
Yes. 80, then we didn't, then 88, 80, 89. 89 was Ghana, Guinea, Nigeria. I think only that. Ghana, Guinea. I think only 3 of us.
I think it was 3 of you.
3 of you.
Yes.
3 of us, yeah.
Yes.
And then before we played 89, what helped us was it? We spent a lot of time in Teshinungwa, the military academy there. When you have to go to toilet, you need to go to the public toilet there.
Up there.
Yeah, up there. You know where so by the time you get there.
Where we?
Yes.
Or if you're not lucky, you meet a stammerer on the way to give you directions.
From there we went to Brazil for 6 weeks.
Yes.
We spent 6 weeks in Brazil. That is where we were taught how to play system. We were playing numbers, but we met a Brazilian coach, Paulo Campos, and a funny story about our physical trainer when we were traveling from Brazil to Germany, and that was our physical trainer. I didn't know. I thought every white person has traveled before, and I didn't know that our physical trainer was his first time of traveling from Brazil to another country.
Oh, okay.
So the coach said after eating, when they served us, the coach said we shouldn't tell him that he has to pay. So we call him Professor Marcio, and he was told he has to
pay for the food.
He has to pay for the food, and he didn't have money. Come and see. The white man turned into pink. When we went to Brazil, after 6 weeks, we came back, we played Ivory Coast here. We played Ivory Coast in Ivory Coast, and that was our last game, qualifier. We played Ivory Coast in Ivory Coast. 1-1 there, Willie Brown scored, and then 2-0 here. I scored, and Bernard scored the second goal. We qualified. And then we went back to Brazil for another 3 weeks. And then we went to Germany for 2 weeks. We had a tournament in Brazil. We didn't lose one match. We didn't lose. We won every match. We played against all the big clubs, and we were overconfident. I think Scotland
gave you that confidence.
Before Scotland, Brazil gave us that confidence. If you've managed to play against Brazil, you know what?
Yeah.
Then we all think Brazil is
the ultimate.
So. Then we went to Germany. We played in a tournament, in a mini tournament, and we won it. So the confidence was very, very high. then the tournament itself.
Coach Frani and Otto.
No, it was Sunday, Okwayi, and Paul Campos.
Oh, okay, that was for those
that
games.
was in the Scotland. Even after the tournament,
okay, so they didn't take you guys to Italy.
No,
Italy was Coach Afrani and Otto.
Afrani took over from Okwayi. Yeah. So in Scotland, I think Sunday was because Sunday was more like a helper,
technical director.
So Okwayi was the assistant coach to the white coach, and he had so much confidence in us. He thought we have what it takes to win the World Cup, but we met men. You know, we met teams that they know what, you know.
There was a lot of inexperience.
Inexperience. We played Cuba.
Yeah.
And after 0-0 against Scotland, we thought, oh, okay, World Cup Enueni. We have to do better. And then I think over complacency, you know, we thought we could. When you look at the name Cuba and Bahrain, you know, we have to massacre these teams. And when we realized we were coming home with canned cokes
instead of trophy,
you know, you go to then it was difficult to get a canned coke in Ghana. So we go to lunch, and you're given a canned coke, Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
it's free there. You open the fridge and it's there. And we're not drinking. We go and put it in your bag. And then
you bring it to Ghana.
And then somebody told Nchujemfi that your boys, we didn't know SS luggage.
Yeah.
So before then, we started it in the flight, Varik. You know, Varik, when we were from Brazil, from Nigeria to to Brazil, you know, when you are given the food and the calories, you put it in the bag and ask for more. Madam,
in Kwasi
So we kept it in our bag, and then Judevi was told. So he said, hey, oh, and you pay them on Sanka. Hey, that night
everybody was drinking.
You hear, we're drinking and pouring and.
In 1991, I mean, it was a very difficult tournament.
Yeah.
But you guys had the men. I mean, I remember in preparation towards that tournament in 1991, there are players who were not part of the squad originally. The Starlets went to play a friendly game with against Agbosume Weavers, and then they found Danelado.
Yeah.
So that's how he joined.
Okay.
You guys, yes, yeah. Danelado joined from Agbosume Weavers at the time.
Okay.
You know, because originally he was not part of the squad.
Okay.
You know, so when you guys got to Italy for that tournament, Ghanaians knew that you had everything that it takes to win that trophy. What was your most difficult game?
Qatar.
That was penalties, eh?
Yes.
You went into extra time and penalties.
Because after beating, we drew against Spain, the first match.
Yes, you were in a group with Spain.
And Uruguay.
Yeah.
And, you know, we studied the Uruguayans, how they play. We know they'll come in hard. But the Spanish, they were very skillful.
Tony.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. that a confirmed guy.
Tony.
Tony, I don't know who he's sure about.
He used to play for Las Palmas.
Las Palmas,
yes,
right?
He was at Las Palmas.
God damn it. He was a troublesome man. Yeah.
Dangerous player.
So when we drew against Spain and then we beat, I think, Uruguay, and then there was another, was it Paraguay or I can't remember.
Somewhat like that, yeah.
Then the finals before the finals
against Brazil.
You know,
that's quarterfinals.
That's quarterfinals against. You know, before then, the squad, the squad of 89, like I said, 90% of us joined 91. And before the tournament, Odati Lamti, Azikasari, and I, we were the only professional players.
Yes.
In the team.
Because after 89, you went to Belgium.
After 89, I played Hasselhoff one season, and then I went to Belgium. 89-90 season, I played off Hasselhoff.
Odati had also been stolen to Holland.
So Isaac played for Cornerstone. So we left together. End of the season, we left somewhere middle of the season, and then we came back, finished the season, and then we went back. Before 91, Otto, those days, the FA and flying people from one end to another was a bit, Alex Asante was obviously basically running the FA by himself.
Ancient of days. He has been there since independence.
Alexo. So for us to join the team in Germany, the three of us, they were finding it difficult. And Otto drove from Germany to Belgium
to pick you guys.
To pick us back with his car to when we got there. We saw new faces. Because after we played Sierra Leone here, we eliminated Sierra Leone, we didn't come back against Guinea when I think they won by penalties. Beno had his one of his best games for this against Guinea. So we saw new faces when we met them but they gave us that respect, three professionals, and because we did it in 89. But fortunately, we had Barnes who has been there, Kofi Mia, even Isaac was playing as a centre back, and Kufo was the standby, and then Gago was one of the new players, and then Danado as well. Famami. That's when we Akurakitua with the fair handsome boy that Ababi he can play.
Rough.
And Mijima was also and Kevin Esin was there. Then I was playing on the right side. Then Dia came in to replace
Willie Brown.
Dia came in to replace Benadai from 89 squad. So Willie Alesopoku so it was on the right wing. It was me. Alesopoku Odate 8, Willie Brown 9, Alesopoku 10, and then Dua 11. So it was only Bernard who left. So the cohesion was already,
and Oli Rahman was also dropped.
Oli was dropped. So Gago
Oli Rahman, the MRI would have killed him. It would have killed Oli Rahman. It would have killed him.
So we had one Musa from RTU, Scotland 89. He was the holding midfielder. He was then one of the centre backs, but the coach changed into to be a holding midfielder.
Why didn't Baba Musa go to 91? Or he was above 17?
Yes, above 17.
Okay.
And when we arrived, when we went to Brazil, he said the team is full of attackers, skillful players. We need a holding midfielder to do the dirty work for us. So we brought Musa as a 6 because Alex was kind of playing the 6 as well. They said he doesn't need a skillful 6, so Musa was Ibrahim Musa.
Ibrahim Musa.
Late. He's also late.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I think he died in Qatar or something like that. He was working there, so he was the one doing the
work.
The only player who couldn't, mention my name. We spent almost a year in camp. He was calling me Preko. For him, the P is B or what? And so Gago came in for that position. We needed a destroyer, and what Gago brought in was shooting from
very powerful 6.
So it was a team that. And then Beno took the place of Osakojo. So basically, it wasn't a team of new players. Barnes has been with the team since he was at I think 12. His father gave him to Wafa. I said Fanoko also Uncle School when the Fanoko camp. So Barnes was more like a kid in there. So 91 he became
a big boy.
Then Kofi Mia. Kofi
another quiet guy.
Kofi Nimo joined, and so we had confidence, but there was no pressure on us. There was no pressure. Like I can't remember I can't remember any of the any of the speech from the officials to tell us Ghana for sure will go and win it. No, it was like Munchide Ghana for say bo no munimbo. So no pressure. Go in there. You've done it in Scotland when Blaster was no Blaster. There was no Blaster for you guys to exhibit, football for the whole nation to enjoy football again. Go to what's the name? Italy,
and enjoy
yourself. And when we realized we're playing Brazil, and the players we had, we realized, look, they should bring it on. Bring it on. Because
against Brazil, I remember some of the stories that came up during that time that the Brazilians were trying to, some officials were trying to bribe some of our people to lose the game. It was PNG Secretary for Youth and Sports then, at the time, who was in charge of the delegation of the team. What's his name? Bring your name, and when you guys got to the game against Brazil, we're hearing all sort of rumors that the Brazilians tried to infiltrate you guys, your camp, and all of that. When you guys were walking out of it was Sarah Mensah who was there.
Yes, Sarah Mensah.
When you guys were walking out of the tunnel and you saw Tavares, Adriano, did you guys give them any kind of respect or credit?
They were unknown names, and then there was no internet and known.
But in the competition, they had been.
They were
two of the devastating players for Brazil.
They were killing everybody.
Yes, Tavares and Adriano.
I remember that week when we had to play Brazil. I was taking inspiration from the what's the name, the poolside. After every game, I wanted the Italian language. I love it so much. I go to the poolside and the old ladies sitting there speaking the language. I listen to them and I get my inspiration back. I feel like I'm not gonna leave Italy.
You go to the poolside,
yes,
to see old ladies in swimming costume.
No, they don't. They're just sitting. no, they're just sitting there.
I know.
Yeah, they're just sitting there.
You take inspiration from the swimming costume of the ladies with the wrinkles.
No, I just go there and they're having.
All the kind of things Totoristo, where is
the way they express themselves, come style, and I go like, Kai, we can't live here.
Yeah.
Italy is too sweet.
Yeah.
The weather is fine, and so
you need to continue winning your games to stay here.
That is it.
Yeah, I know that.
And when we had to play, Brazil, it's like the Brazilians of Africa against
the original Brazilians.
And we've played Brazil in I think I remember Scotland. One of the match in Scotland is a nice squad. One of our matches in Brazil, we played only I think 12 or 13 minutes. 12-13 minutes was against Vasco, and we had to. It was like close rivalry match. People were breaking people's leg.
Wow.
For our coach, because under 10 minutes we were already 2 up, and they were the champions of Brazil.
Kai.
And they came to our training grounds. Said they kept first 10 minutes they were already down. We played them soccer, and for African team to come and stop them, they couldn't take it, and then they start kicking us, and we were preparing to come and play
a tournament.
Yeah, a tournament. So our coach Paulo Campos, he stopped the game. He stopped the game and said, no. We're not going to continue. If this is how it's going. And truly,
but there was no referee in the game.
There was referee, and the referee and his lions, they were all Brazilians. And we had to stop them and then train after they left.
Wow.
And he said, we were not going to play any Brazilian team till any match till we left to Germany. So it was like, okay, now this is
proper tournament.
Proper tournament. The Brazilians of Africa against the Brazilians, the original Brazil. And when you beat Brazil, what you doing there?
Yes.
Beat Brazil and go home, and Ghanaians will be
happy. He scored the first goal.
He scored the early goal,
and then Tavares equalized. And then the scissor kick
from Mohamed Gago, my header.
It was your header that brought it back.
Yes, I think it was a pull out from the left side.
Yes.
And it was going out.
And then you headed it back into play.
You know, it was, when you, it was like, I jumped like Ronaldo's.
You hung in the air.
Hung in the air.
And then headed it back
to Mimo, and Mimo finished it. You know, so it was
that goal was classic.
I haven't seen it up to now.
That goal was classic. And it didn't look like a 17-year-old goal.
This scissor kick was made in Tamale.
It was made in Tamale.
Made in Tamale.
Charlie.
Park. What's the name of the park?
Caladan.
Yes. Made in Caladan.
Yes.
It was so beautiful. And the celebration.
Yes. It was swinging his arms. Running all the way.
Yeah, it was.
Brazil couldn't believe that they had lost that game. They couldn't believe. It was at that point that Ghanaians knew the title was coming to Ghana.
Yeah.
Then came Qatar.
Very difficult match. I remember I missed so many chances. I can picture one of the chances I missed. I went through the defense. I played 1-2, and I entered the box, and the goalkeeper was coming. Instead of me, I was good at that, just placing the ball. And I thought, okay, this one there, he's already on the ground.
So you were shooting.
I shot the ball, and when I was like, Ghanaians will kill me. Ghana and all the chances were on me.
Oh yeah, every chance was coming to you.
And because of my speed, I had a good understanding with Alex Opoku, Willie Brown. Odate wasn't a good passer of the ball. You create space for him, he'll take you on.
Yeah. Odate drove the team forward.
Yes.
Alex, the transitions that was done, Odate was the one driving the team forward.
Lamptey can take players on. He was more. He was like the
Ronaldo 9. Yes.
He picks the ball
and he's looking for you.
He's looking.
Yes,
he's going.
He's coming towards you.
Alex Opoku
very progressive.
Was more like Alex Opoku picks the ball, and I know
Alex Opoku was like the ball. It was like Odegaard.
Yes.
Pocket of spaces.
Beautiful.
Pocket of spaces.
You take off. He will find you. So after Alex Opoku, I played with Mohamed Polo. I saw exactly Alex style in Professor.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed. I said he will tell you, you just move. So
I'll find you.
Every time the ball is with Alex, Willie will move
this way, and then you
the
move
right
that
side,
way.
and I'll move the space. So they were playing man marking. Those days they used to play a lot of man marking, and one of the center backs would just run with him, and that space, I will run into that space. So Alex made me. He made me enjoy my movement as a striker. So Qatar, we thought, okay, Qatar, cut him so. What's Brazil like Qatar? Then who is Qatar?
They really surprised you guys.
First 15 minutes. Then they were also, and they were very big.
They're tall.
With men with beard. You get me? And when they hit you, you could feel it that with the Qatar 17 with the 0-0 first half, 0-0 second. Wow!
Extra time.
And the way they were playing, the way they were packed at the back, and they go in for every 50-50 ball.
And now, when it got to that point, now you guys were tensed.
Yes, because it wasn't our style.
Yeah.
We thought
nobody has stretched you like that.
No. We were beating everybody hands down.
Yeah.
For you to beat Brazil, even we scored the equalizer, and then we came and they didn't even create with the way they were beating everybody. They didn't even create it for this team to stretch us, and they stretched us because they were compact at the back.
Yeah.
And they were not.
They couldn't open up and play.
No.
The flair, the typical.
No.
They couldn't do that with
they
you.
They were going long balls.
Yes.
Thinking they might get a goal.
When they lose the ball, they just come back.
And we didn't meet a team like that because Brazil was open.
Yeah.
Spain, it was open. Uruguay, it was open.
Uruguay beat them 2-0.
Yes.
You scored in that game.
I scored in that.
And Odati also scored in that
Beautiful.
game. Yeah.
So it was like, hey, confirm the eco penalty. So, hey, and so thank God I position, those days, like now, anybody at all can go and those days you write the names down, and I was the last
player.
The last player, because I was among the best in Scotland '89.
Okay.
The penalty there, I was among the best. It was me, Alex Opoku, Isaac Asari, in Scotland, Alex Asari, Baba Musa, Benadaye, me, and I think that I'm always the last person. So we used to practice, and so when you go to the penalties, I will make bumper as a man do me so. Unfortunate, before the fourth one, they missed. I think they missed twice. Thanks to in those days you could come forward, cross the line, come forward, and Owu was, I think, it was 12 meters from the from the line. He was standing in front of the guy. And we were fortunate to have Owu because from soccer missionaries when they won the gala. He was the best goalkeeper. So when it comes to penalty, he was strangely he doesn't move a lot. He just stand and open his legs, and for some reason
the ball will come to him.
The ball will come to him.
Yes, the ball will come to him.
The ball will come to him, and even when we're doing shooting at training, he will ask Chrissy to go in there because Willie Browns and men will come and shoot.
Willie Brown's shot. Where you see in Tiaps?
Yes. But when it comes to penalties at training, will come in, and for some reason he will be.
Sometimes he wouldn't even know where the ball is. The ball will come and hit him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Strangely, he will not dive.
Yeah.
And he will move like when they are the U20 won the World Cup. The Sami was the goalkeeper. The U20 team, Bobo's team.
Yeah.
The way he was moving on the line. He goes there
and the ball comes there.
The ball comes there. That's exactly. Then he moves there and
the ball comes there.
The ball comes and realize we're going to the finals. That is when we felt that, hey,
the thing is real.
The thing is real. Ghanaians, messages coming in. I remember
Rollins and everybody,
everybody. They, hey, you have to win it. Maybe I'm going to do it there. Ghana for you say you have to bring the cup.
Yeah.
Realities
started coming in
that, hey, you are doing something. The whole nation is watching, and you can't fail.
Yeah.
Hey, the day before the match, I think the day of the match, my number 7, my shorts got missing at the camp.
Hey.
Yeah. My football.
Yes.
So I was wearing the different. I think we had a shorts with the white. I wore a different without a number or something like that. My pants, couldn't find it.
Wow.
Yeah. It was so weird, weird stuff. But personally, I wasn't playing because I was already a professional player.
Yeah.
Isaac, professional, Lamti.
Yeah.
So the pressure wasn't on us.
Yeah.
The others, when they had Domenico, Richie was at the camp telling them, this team is interested in you, this team is interested in you. Then they realized, okay, we can be like the other
professionals.
three. Yes, professionals. And so when we won the tournament, I didn't come to Ghana. The three of us, we didn't come to. So when they were doing the tour,
you were not part.
We were not part.
Yeah.
Anderlecht said, come back.
Yes.
Come and work. This under 17 Amoko boy. Come and work. We are paying you guys here. Yeah. So we went back to the. But the finals, I think when we realized the whole nation is behind us, whether you win it, I think we had a message from Rollins,
from President Rollins,
President, that he's very proud of us, and we win or lose, we've made Ghana proud. We've taken Ghana to the next, World Cup, World Cup. Ghana, whether a draft World Cup or a World Cup, for you to take the name Ghana, because
that was the first time.
Before then, when they talk about Ghana, it was Guyana, Guyana. Where are they from? But for us, especially a tournament that is held in Italy, in
Europe,
the final in Florence, for us to twinkle twinkle little boys, from nowhere, for you to find yourself in Italy and to make your nation proud. We these people, we met them in the first
and it was 1-1.
1-1
but you knew that the finals would be tough.
We knew
playing against them again would be tough.
Yes, we were afraid of Tony.
Yes,
Tony was because the first match, it was the first match of the tournament. Majority of the boys were inexperienced. Especially what happened in Scotland. We do the first game, and then but under different coach. Otto and Afrani were the coaches. They didn't stress us. It's just go in and showcase your capabilities. So the finals was more. Go and make Ghana proud. Otto was happy to see us in the finals. Because after that, I think they then giving him the blast. So he knew after this tournament he was going to the Black Stars. Going to the Black Stars
because Bukatsiers had been fired.
And then Dia second half.
But in that finals as well, you guys wasted a lot of chances.
I remember
some that were hitting the post.
My header.
You held your head. Yes. You thought it was.
My header and the guy, the defender was on the line.
And he took it out.
That was the first header. I think the corner kick from Barnes or Lamptey, and I thought it was going.
In the build up to the goal, it was Willie Brown who got the corner kick. He shepherded the ball.
Okay.
And then we got a corner kick, and then Alex Opoku went for that corner kick, and then Manodia headed.
He was the only one.
Yes.
And to find Dia to find himself with a header.
Yes.
He was basically alone there.
But Dia surprisingly was one of the players who also wasted a lot of chances. Because the goalkeeper actually he predicted Dia quite well in a lot of the shots that Dia gave. A lot of Dia gave a lot of shots.
Yes.
The goalkeeper parried and punched
as well.
A lot of it.
Where we were greenhorns. Because majority of the chances we had, it was just look at the goalkeeper
and place it. But what shot?
Our training, we were doing a lot of shooting. So you thought to score, you have to shoot. And it was a learning process also for us. Thought to score, and the wide goalkeepers, they like to come forward and narrow the space. So I think the goalkeeper.
Did you guys believe it when the final whistle went? In fact, before the final whistle went, the Spanish guys almost equalized.
Yes.
They almost equalized. Alex Opoku had to clear it from the line.
Yes,
goalkeeper was completely beaten.
Oh, it was beaten.
It was completely beaten.
I think I was on the bench. I came out. He made some substitutions, so I came out and to pack the defense, and then the pressure started
mounting
because
we were not attacking anymore.
Up front it was me, Dia using our speed, and Alex coming into. Alex was that tournament was they were using, FIFA was then using Starlet to experiment a new rules in terms of offside. So you can only be offside when you are in the box. So a line was drawn from the 18 to the touch line. So you will be only offside when. So with that, it was easy for us to stretch the opponent. So you make sure you don't get behind him when you are in the box. But before the box there, if you come and push us, we'll kill you. We will kill you. Dia there, Alex Opoku and Willie Brown, and Willie, any small chance, he would shoot from afar.
Yes,
Lamptey would run with the ball. And Gago would just make sure that, So,
but you guys were a bunch of skillful players.
Yeah.
With Daniel Ado in the middle,
unbelievable,
measuring everybody.
Unbelievable.
He was at some point. I remember the ball was on his lap and he was going around the center.
Yes,
just kicking the ball around. I mean, so beautiful.
Daniel was a surprise inclusion. Especially I think one of the group stages, one of our matches. Was it Gago was suspended or something like that, or injured, and Daniel, one of the matches Gago didn't play, and Daniel came in, and he won the best player, the best player of the day. He won, this day you were given JVC, and he won the best player. I say so. The coach has no choice than to find
space to
put him, and. It wasn't easy because Gago was different.
Oh yeah, he was powerful.
So for you to bring, you can't take Alesopuku off the captain. You can't take Lamptey off instrumental and Willie Brown. So you need to do some adjustments to get in. Even if we are dominating, Daniel can. He's the only one who can hold the ball.
Yeah.
Mijima was on the bench.
Yeah.
And so you bring in Daniel and Alesopuku, then we are secured.
Yeah.
You have the two of them, playing. Because
these guys were ballers.
Yeah. Daniel. I didn't know him till the tournament. I was like, Kai, this boy.
Let me ask you this. I mean, I'll go for a short break, but let me ask you, which of the players in your 89-91 squad were you surprised that could not make it big on the international scene?
Alesopuku.
Why?
Ales had it all.
Sporty FM.
Ales.
He went to Leipzig after.
Yeah, he went to Leipzig, and I think he failed because of his structure,
body structure.
Yeah, but bro.
Because in Germany, before even if you are smallish, you must be super talented and strong. Because if you look at players like Pierre Lebaski, Olaf Thon, they are not big players, but they're very, very strong.
Ales had it all. Ales had this all. He can read the game. He's skillful. He's intelligent. Was a good leader. He can score. And when you look at his muscles, it was as small like CK's own,
Kakwentile.
But he can also shoot. And when it comes to set pieces, when we went to Brazil, I remember Paulo Campos would say, Alex is not a Ghanaian. Probably we should look into it because they believe like the best players are from Brazil. And he saw that in Alex. Alex and Otto came in as Alexander Okopu, Opoku, Alex. I thought, Lamptey has his style, Lamptey, we saw Pele in him, running with the ball, but to locate, I said, I played with players. The national team, I've played with a lot of players, and I saw if I have to choose between, in terms of locating, Alex and Maestro, Alex can, Maestro can dribble everybody, and score incredible. But Alex, in terms of passing,
his vision was different.
But
because the way he scans.
Yeah. Yes.
The way he scans.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. At that age, that time.
The way he will scan. His peripherals were super.
Yes.
The way he will scan,
And I don't remember any of our trainees for the coach to teach us how to scan. That boy, Alex, was already, in that mood in terms of scanning. By the time the ball will come, he knows. Because he knows he wasn't that, strong. But he's so intelligent. Before he asks for the ball, he knows where the ball is going.
Do you think he made the wrong choice going to Germany from the beginning?
I think so. Alex was more like the French kind of, footballer.
French, Belgium.
Yeah, French, Belgium. The flair is there. You take your time. Because our best man, Willie.
Yeah.
Willie played in Cercle Bruges, even though he was smallish and skillful like Alex Poku, but Alex went to that time. The Bundesliga was
the Germans are very mechanical in the way they play their game.
Yeah.
But for a player like Alex, he should have probably done a Spain or a Belgium or a France.
Exactly.
To build it up from there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because that time Germany very mechanical, Italians very, very strong.
Yes.
So
and he wasn't a ball winner. He was a 10.
Yeah.
And for a white man to for you to be a 10 in their team, you should be a special 10. And
Abadio.
Yes. But Alex, I think he went to the wrong country because
he's a pastor now.
Yeah, he's a pastor
in France.
Yeah. He's always on Facebook.
Wow.
I always follow him.
That's very interesting.
He hasn't changed. He hasn't changed. He still look the same.
Wow.
The face hasn't changed at all.
Yeah.
Kasangbami.
All right, check out the time. It's about 10 minutes to the top. We will do a short break. When we come back, Yaw Preko is my very special guest to the studio. Yaw Preko, Yaw Rush, that we all used to call him, he's played at various levels for the Ghana national teams, and we are having a reminiscent time with him in the studio. He's currently the U15 national team coach of Ghana. But let's come to 1992. I mean, Barcelona 92. Was it one of your best tournaments?
Yeah. I enjoyed that tournament because it was the only tournament I could say I sweat to enter into the squad.
Really?
Yeah.
It was not automatic for you?
No. Ade.
Coach Ade.
Coach Ade. May he rest in peace. He gave us one hell of a time before I was able to enter the squad.
Why?
I had worked with Ade 89-90 season with House of Folk. So I thought automatically 2 years later I'll just enter the team.
And you had done well at the under 17. You were now a professional player.
When we met the team, I came down. I had a problem with my eye. I went to see Dr. Fojo. He did a little surgery. And when the names came out, I think at the FA, my name wasn't in the squad because he was told to add the Starlets, and I was then already a 2 years professional. I was to add. They said no, even players with two eyes are struggling to enter the team. So they had to call Dr. Fojo to come to the FA. He went there.
He was the national team coach.
Yes, he was
the doctor.
Yes, the
at
doctor.
37.
And he had to, justify why I can play in the tournament. He said, no, that surgery is just 3 days and the plaster will be off. And so when we went to Manciana, Italy, he didn't want to see some of the starless players. He had his players already. The likes of Franka Mankwa, Samia J, Shamokwe, Abradekuma, Kalidu Dramani, Banadaye, Maxwell Kunedu, Oli Rahman, and Oli was then playing the number 7 position when And during one of our friendly matches in Italy, he told us, among all of you, there's only one professional player in a room. Oh, he said, all of you here, only one professional player in Odatilante.
Wow.
When I've worked with this man, and we won the league, we won the league with Hasselhoff double. So I was like, okay, Oli is then coaching for, he was then coaching Kotoko, and Oli Rahman is playing for Kotoko. So I understand where
he's coming from.
The team was divided into two: the local base, the team B and team A. The team B, we had Ezekiel Alamu and CK Akono, Naus, and sometimes the A team will go and will play first half and they will draw, and then we will come and then we'll beat the opponent. He will go like when the first half, after the first half, the opponent, they were very tired, and then he will ask us to play. The team B will play the first half, and then we'll beat, and then the second team will come and they will struggle. The first team will come and they will struggle, but he was finding. But I think this guy Paha late Saikochi and the team manager Mekano
Alaji Mekano
played. They played a huge part of me getting in the squad, because when he made his final squad, we made it the final squad, the final selection, the last day of before we traveled. Rahman was sick, and so we played the last friendly match, and I started from the team A. I was on top with Kwame, as usual. Then the next morning he had to call for another match because he wants Rahman to play. Rahman is okay, he had to play. So Rahman, we had to play another friendly match for Rahman so that he knows this is the team he's going to start with. So we were not, I could meet the coach he doesn't like to take the lift. He's always on the stairs, and we could meet on the stairs, and sometimes you greet him and he will not respond. If you are not eye to eye with him. So it was difficult. It was the only time I can say in the national team I struggled to enter in the team, but at the end I justified myself when the opportunity was given to me. I remember I came in against this game I think our first game was against what's the name of this team? Australia. We won 3-1 or so, and then I came in assisted, and then the second game also I came in and changed the face, and then the third game was against Mexico. Mexico. I was on the bench, and it was I had my style. So when I come in, Oli is not a guy who runs behind the defenders. He comes in, and we have skillful players like Shamokoya, Bladikuma. Kwame needs somebody to support him in terms of running behind. I remember when he asked the players to go and warm up. My name was in, so it was Simonado. Simonado who told Coach Paha, why is Yaw sitting on the bench? We need players like Yaw to stretch the defense. Then you put in the area. Hey, Simon so one time guy rush. Sorry, call warm up, and they say you coffee, and then Paha asked me to go and warm up. Coach didn't even look at me in the face. He was looking. You know how he does it. He was looking at the game, and then when they were warming up, I was going to put one of the players, was it PP or something? And the player himself said, I think the way the game is going, I'll be needed more than him.
Wow.
Yeah. and again, so some of the young power listening, and then I went in, and I think my first pass was from Isaac Asari over the defenders, and I managed to, I think the goalkeeper came out, and I dribbled him, and I placed the ball, but Kwame, as usual, Kwame was at the right place at the right time, and so then we went to the quarterfinal against Paraguay.
No, so when you came in and you did that, after the game, what did Coach Ade say?
Oh, I didn't even look at him in the face. Yeah, because then I was a professional player already.
Yeah.
So I felt like I have already justified myself. I from Starlets 89, 81, and why do I have to? I'm a professional player. Why do I have to struggle? Everybody knows. You could see that my style and Rahman, no disrespect, but my style and Rahman is total. I'm a typical ringer. Rahman was more like an 8, Abradekuma.
Yeah, Rahman was not really fast like that.
And I had already played with Ablade, Shamu.
At Hartlepool,
Benadai, Scotland 89. So I know what, and Kwame was the only player, I was the only one that it was my first time of playing with him. But I saw Kwame right away with his speed, and I realized, no, this is the kind of player I can also play with. So for me to, you could see from the training camp, whatever you do, he does in his eyes.
Yeah.
CK was dropped because CK did whatever he could, and he was asked to come home.
I remember.
Yeah, but I made it, and I was like, okay, let's go and see how. Then the quarterfinals against Paraguay, Coach Ade came to my room and said, Roshi, that's why Roshi, Ojenshie. I said, Coach, you told Ghanaians I'm a super substitute. I said, who told you are a super substitute? Who told you? You said I should sit down. One of the interview, he said, he was asked, why is Yaw not starting? He said he wants me to sit down, study the game, and then where the opponent falls short, I come and use my speed. And then I was sitting, I can vividly just picture where I was sitting in the hotel room, and he said, who told you I a super substitute? Where we've reached now, we don't need a super substitute. We need players to finish the game. Yes. So get ready, you are starting. And say, Coach, my master the game. Koni second half. So against Paraguay, I started. That was my first game. Therefore, when we were leading 2 and then they equalized, then some of our players, the regulars, they were joking with the game. We were doing after leading 2, and I came to the bench, and I told, they were sitting there, and I told them, some of us, we fought to enter this team. We fought. When today it doesn't go well for us, we are going back to Europe. We are already professional. Some of the players, when they make mistake and you cannot talk. Media, if they do that nonsense now, I'll come and sit down. Hey, Sami Ajayi, he used to come to my room and tell me, Roshi, my wife has to buy a sewing machine. So we need bonus.
Cafe wulu.
So when I told Sami, when I sat on the bench here, I'll come and sit down. Sami, Roshi, cafe na kind. Cafe na me papo fa machine Roshi, come machine come.
It depends on you, man.
Yes, because they know without me at the right side, we'll fall short.
Oh, Charlie.
And then 90 minutes, I think light went off here in Ghana. When
the light came back,
we already. I think 90 minutes. The witches,
they were afraid that we would lose.
Yes. The light went off, and
then
when
we came back, it was 4-2. Yeah.
Then we met Spain. You again. You admire the opponent. Sometimes you meet the opponent and you say, no, this one there. Early chance we had Benadai, shot across the diagonal, which he's very good at. And I thought that ball should have entered. But when I said the only chance we had, and I was admiring, I was watching Isaac Asari. I was on the right side, watching Luis Enrique and Isaac Asari at the other side. Hey, Isaac, Isaac is good in those kind of sliding.
Yeah.
Hey, Isaac will go down, Enrique will bring the ball to the left, Isaac will get up, and he will use his left as if he's a left footer.
Charlie.
And the ball goes to Guardiola, and then they had Kiko.
Yeah, Kiko.
Top Kiko. Yeah. And Guardiola he played 90 minutes without losing the ball. We had midfielders, Lamte, Gago, Alex Nyakons, and by the time you get to Guardiola, the ball is gone. And they could process the ball like we were just running about. And you immediately you get the ball, they are there. I was like, damn, they are above us. That one, there's no doubt. They are above. We hands down. What should go on here?
Their first goal was a penalty.
The first was a penalty.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Their first goal was a penalty.
I don't remember. I don't remember. It was 2-0.
Yes, they beat us 2-0.
2-0.
Yes. Luis Enrique scored that penalty. And then Guardiola scored the second goal.
Yeah. We were beaten hands down. They dominated the game from a game that, when you are on the pitch, you go like, yeah. It shouldn't be 3 or 4. Because the attack, we played in Valencia. The game was played in Valencia. Every movement and the stadium was packed. And every move, you hear the crowd, because that was the only game they came in their numbers, and because most of the matches was empty. And you could see, the red, the yellow and red, the Spanish supporters. Every move, we have to kick somebody. Kalilu, Asekufo, and Gagos, and we have to make sure that we kill them. And we made a lot of fouls. Yeah. So all we were doing was okay, foul. And then we met. After the game, we will just go to them and thank you, well done, thank you, well done. When we met Australia in the third place. Okay, then we beat them as Gasari, 30-yard, 30-yarder. Yeah. 1-0. And we came after the game, I remember when they carried him, I wanted to go and press his balls. They carried him. He asked the players to carry him. That was the only. You remember that game? We made, I think, were they 3 substitutes? All the goalkeepers,
yes.
Kept that man.
I remember Dose, Osei Kojo, and then Simon Nadu. Yes.
I think with Dose was the funniest guy. Oh, may he rest. He was the funniest in camp. He didn't know he was going to keep. So when the cramps started coming, they said, "Oh, you need to." He himself is the camp, the village was so big, and the restaurant was as big as a football pitch, and you could just go in any given time and go and eat, and nobody will restrict you. So you go in there and eat at any time. When you are hungry, you go and they thought Ose was the number 1. Simon was there, so he thought he would not. Then when they found out, when he was asked to go, it was, I think when the cramps started, I remember one time he was in, when we were there, say, I feel free. And he is one of the funniest.
Yeah.
He said,
15 minutes after 6 here, and my guest in the studio is Yaw Preko. We are having a great chat, reminiscing all the days of, all the glory days that we've seen him enjoy as well. The things that he did for Ghana as a footballer from under 17 level to the Black Stars. Let's come to your favorite phobia. There was a time, I think it was 31st December, you missed the penalty.
My first match
for Hearts of Oak, and you missed the penalty.
Yeah.
And that's how Kotoko won that cup.
That's it. Hey.
Were you tensed?
My money. Before I joined House of Oak, there was controversy, you know, and I finally decided to join House of Folk instead of Kotoko, you know. And so it was more like those who knew me were like, oh, you're Kotokoni, no Kopo House of Folk, and you go and fail. And the Kotoko supporters from power lines, and you go and fail and everything. You will not play with his heart. So when I joined House of Folk, I joined to prove
to Kotoko people
that no, despite I'm a Kotoko guy, like Opoku Free joined
Heart of
Folk. I said if they were hinting himself. Once upon a time, stepped down to play for House of Folk. Neopoku. So we for this one is my career. I have to play House, and then the love the supporters gave me, I have to pay them back by, and so I gave everything. And unfortunate, 31st December, like you said, it was a Rollins Cup at the same time league.
Yes.
And winner takes it all.
Yeah.
And then draw penalties.
Yeah.
And when from the center,
when you were walking,
we played against Olympics and I scored penalty. So I was already one of the best in but that game, from when I was walking from center to the penalty spot, and for some reason, instead of me picking the ball, then I think the referee put the ball on the spot already, and from center to the spot, it was like from here to Manya. And I as if the whole stadium
and
it was quiet, and I didn't hear my fans. All I could hear was the Kotoko supporters, as if me so and pressure. But I, instead of picking the ball, put it at the, and it was Osekojo, because that time when I come, I always put it on the left side of the. I believe in my kick so much that even if the goalkeeper, you go to the left side, and it was my Kebinesian who taught me that thing. Then or call crowd the fashion or call crowd, and Asian will put the ball there 10 times and he will score 10 times. So I was good in that. So one Osekojo told Odum that I'll put it there. So before I moved, Odum was already
moved towards there.
And instead of me changing, when we played Olympics, I put it on the right side of the goalkeeper. But I wanted to put the left side this time to go up. And I saw, like the thing became like a slow motion for me. I saw Odum diving towards the ball, and I was like, hey, ready, me. Slow motion. And all of a sudden, I thought, but fortunate, I had a bunch of experienced players, the Joados, the Amasinigans, and they all came to me, and with that is how my love for House of Folk grew, because at end of the game, I heard some of the Kotoko supporters were saying, "Yemaniska or J bribe." And House of Folk supporters said, if Yaw will kick for you to lose 10 matches, that one will not blame him. He's and
they protected you.
They protected me. They gave me that love. And after that match, I said no.
You played with Chamokwe.
I played with Chamokwe.
You played with Abladekuma, Alamu, Eden Dugbate, Joado. What kind of player was Chamokwe?
Oof.
Wonder.
One that doesn't run too much. It doesn't run too much. But if a ball is put in front of him, you can't win him. he has his that guy. He was special. He was special, especially in our terrain. He was special because I knew him from the musical youth. 1987 when they bet. For me to play with him, 89 because we had Shamu, but you have to go to the stadium but then I didn't know him. I didn't know him, and I know him from I watched, I think, Starlets against Algeria, and that's when I saw a little bit of him, but
at Accra Sports Stadium?
At Accra Sports Stadium. 3-0, yeah. So,
and we went there and they also beat us
3-0. You know them. So for me to be at the grounds with him, it was a dream to play with Abladi and the Shamos, and but for you to see him train, what he could do. And in terms of scoring, it's not only passing, but in terms of scoring, both left and right. Sometimes you ask yourself, is it real or is he joking? Because Shamo could just hit the ball with his left leg outside the box and similar target with his right leg. He's just having fun. Leather was one in a he just those days when you are a 10 you don't win the ball. But when we are playing and you have Shamo and Polo in the team, you are playing minors at the same time plus. Because then the defenders we had Solo Ayu as a 6.
Yeah, Sola.
You win every ball.
Sola was one of the best players
as well. And then we have the defenders, Ninja, Joado, Amasiniga, the two center backs that will quarrel from the waist every day, but they were the best on the pitch.
Then you have Anyetesoa. Then you have Imanosaki
or Benaje.
Benaje.
And then Abbas Caesar or Nanabein. Or Moffat. And then up front, Richard Nawu. Then he left.
Yeah.
Then Tieku became Tony Tieku. Thunderball. Hey. Then me on the right side.
Did you play with Olabode Williams?
Yes.
In that particular squad.
Ola and Aite.
Yes.
Came. Ola and Aite came, and I was privileged to.
You played with great players.
Yeah. So.
Because Bode was another wonderful player.
Even at the time when he came back, I was told he was declining.
I watched Olabode play against. In fact, I watched him Abiola Babies and Leventis in Nigeria.
Damn.
Crazy.
They said Nigeria. He was
crazy. I watched him in Surulere Stadium, and he was crazy at that time. Leventis had Samu Kwaraji and all those boys.
Yeah.
And Abiola Babies had
I watched him only once when it was I think it was a FA Cup. Azakes Kotoko 2-0.
He and Henry Akwa scored. Yes.
He picked the ball.
He mesmerized. He finished everybody.
Yes.
That day they scored Kotoko like 5.
Unbelievable. Yes. I was at the stadium that
day Kotoko was best player was Opoku Sampeni.
Yes.
Sampeni was Opoku.
Yes. When Kotoko came, they thought it was Opoku Nti with the Jerry Kells.
Yeah. Maradona was the best player that day. Opoku Sampeni. Yes.
So I when Crenson and Ola were in that squad, and when you go to training, you want to go to training every day.
Yeah.
Because
you learn so much.
Yes. No pressure.
No.
I don't have any pressure because I have to go and enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Because why do I have to put pressure on myself when Polo is there, Olabode, Crenson, Abladekuma, Shamokwe, Tieku, the supporters will insult him.
Yeah.
But almost saying, they will insult him, and then you come and he was my body. And with now Akwa can't keep Oka Nkrebi so I had players who who protected me. You know, Benaje will tell you, "Ya audio call." So no say bema no mo audio ncha no ba beto. You get me? So you don't no pressure. Just go.
Unfortunately, both stars like Shamokwe and Jodebra have all passed. Can you imagine? Robert Shen, Michael Essay, all of them have passed. Can you imagine? Shamokwe died on the 30th of November 1997.
I was in Turkey when I heard. I couldn't believe it.
I had gone to cover an African Champions League game between Shanti Gold, the Boise Goldfields, and some Liberty team from professionals or something from Liberia. On our way back on the 30th of November, 1997. Yes, then Samokwe passed on that day. I did a lot of stories on him when he died, and the rest is history. But all these guys have gone. Then came that famous game at Accra Sports Stadium, Hearts Kotoko, when the Baba Musa got injured. Was that your last game?
No, that was my last game. That was my last game.
That was on the 5th of August, 1990.
That was it. Was it the FA Cup final?
It was an FA Cup final.
FA Cup finals, yes.
Hearts of Kotoko were in the Maximilian jersey.
Yes.
And I remember at the ambulance side.
Yes.
That's where you were Baba Musa clashed.
In front of the bench. Yeah. Yes. That was the end of Baba Musa's career. You know, it was like a starlets against starlets.
Yes.
And then I've already grown in the game.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we've beaten them. Was it
the champion of champions? No, the Super Cup.
No.
In the league, you beat them in the league.
We beat them in the league in Kumasi 2-1. It was the winner takes it all.
Yeah.
You know.
Beat them in the league.
So meeting them again, I think the Kumasi one, I was on the bench, and I came in the second half. So meeting them again and. Baba Musa, you know, Baba Musa had then, you know, mastered in
and he was playing at that central part with Alhaji Rafidi.
Yes, and he got himself injured because when he was going in, it was like everybody was like, you know, those days. You remember, you know, when the defender is going to slide, you know, you can hear from the crowd.
Yeah.
It's from the crowd.
Kalawo,
going. So it was a 50-50.
Yeah.
And I thought I could just.
It was a pure accident.
Yeah. And my knee. Yeah. So after the game, I saw his knee and I told him, look, should I wish any year? Should be because me baby a ball, baby, no one shot. And
Sporty FM.
That ended his football career. One of the best central defenders.
Let's see if we would probably get a few of our callers to those who remember some of the things that you did, to see if we can get a couple of them. Let's just do this in a minute, and then just drop me a track whilst we do this, and then we'll come back, and then we'll pick your calls on 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061, as well as messages coming from Facebook and everywhere about Yaw Preko, the great rush. We want to remember some of the sweet memories enjoyed in those era. Try to invite that year group to share with us, and the generations that never saw their heroic performances get to know how the prestigious trophy was won. You people frankly brought Ghana football to the limelight until now. Up till now, congratulations again, Black Starlets 1991 group. That's somebody sending this message to Yaw on this show. Let me do the phones, come back, and then we'll do some more. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Your name is?
My name is Brimpon.
Brimpon?
Yeah.
Okay. Brimpon, let's hear you.
Let me take Yaw back a bit. If you recollect the match at the football at Amado Group during Ojiman's festival celebration.
Amano Chrome.
Oh, yeah. That was my first match for House of Folk.
Yes. Yeah.
I enjoyed that match. It was a rainy season.
So I decided to bring it in.
Yeah. It was my first match. My first match for House of Football outside Accra. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of support from those supporters, our supporters in that area after that match. I was the youngest, and it was that's when I realized I've made a
right choice.
The right choice. Yeah. Right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. You think people have forgotten about you? There's so much history. Get on my phone 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Yaw Preko is in the studio. If you have some questions to ask him, you can also do so. If you have some memories of him, you can also do so by calling into the show 054-257-1061. Don't forget, tonight is Champions League as well. We will be at Republic to show you the game, to watch the game from there. Sporty FM will be at the Republic to show. I'm sure Kosifia Kai and Co will be there, and we'll bring it to you live as well. I'll come to some of these other... Okay, on the phones. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
And I'm calling from Dansoman.
Let's hear you.
I remember Rush, even though I was very young then, with his punk. And my dad would hold my hand as an Accra Folk fan, take me to the stadium. And those times I was around 6-7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then people would come call me to give them the first 11 of Accra Folk. I could even close my eyes and then just mention the first 11. And they gave us memories, including him. And then the Starlet 91 squad. With him, Abladikuma, and then Shamukwe, the late.
Mm-hmm.
When I see them play, I feel some sort of joy. I don't know whether it was because I was an Accra Folk fan, but with this diminutive body and then the sort of pace that he had, when Joe Famia came to the scene with his spunk as well, for the legs, I would have thought his reincarnation.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of resemblance.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, with Yaw on the flanks, I could sleep, wake up, and ask my dad, "Damn, but I in here." And I was happy. They really gave us so much memories, and I'm happy hearing from him today too.
Happy to hear from you too.
Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, sir.
But it's true. Joe Famia, when he's on the pitch from afar, there's a bit of resemblance.
I saw about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I saw the GTV Plus showed some of the Haas old matches. And I
know the way he walks on the pitch, the way, and he has a lot of speed.
Yeah, speed, and I saw a little bit of me in
him. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Banks.
Boss, your name is?
This is Anobil.
Anobil, Charlie, how are you?
Adio, bro.
Nice one. Anobil, let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Raj.
Good evening.
Yes, we the football fans who followed football in early 90s coming, we really love your kind of player as you are.
Thank you.
A very decent, respectable, and the man that just called is on point. You and is it Ahmad, the player he mentioned?
Joe Famia.
Look alike.
Joe
Famia. Alpha and Omega.
You guys, it's more like he came out of you.
Yeah.
Yes, the familiarity is very, very there. And your way of play, very calm and decent player. Yeah. My brother, we were so much enjoying how to folk by then.
You see,
when you are here, Samu is coming with a powder on his face. Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
You know something big is coming.
Yeah,
and the the Yanum people were shivering like that.
Who are the Yanum people?
Oh, you know them now.
Who are the Yanum people?
the Yanum people from the other side.
Yeah.
They were shivering.
Yeah.
They were shivering.
Healthy.
Antics and all the clear play, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's not like today. But
Yeah.
one thing I want to find out, how difficult is it for you guys to get into House of Folk board and talk to them, at least do something? Because our majority shareholder, we all know that he's pumping money into the team.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the team itself, the management of the team, what can you guys do about it? The old players, please.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome, sir.
Okay. I was going to ask you about, when you watch House of Folk today, what runs through your mind?
It's a lot. I played against them in Swatre Man against House of Folk at the Lagos Stadium. I think the flair is missing. There was something missing. A lot missing. I didn't see that House of Folk. The spirit. Thank you. The spirit. The coach is trying. But if the materials or I can't pinpoint what is missing, but it was easy to play them. It was difficult but easy to play them.
House has become spiritless.
Yeah, because I see House of Folk. That game we drew 0-0. But it got to a stage where when you play House of Folk, you reach that stage and you know you will be losing.
Yeah,
I didn't see that thing. I didn't see that spirit that with the fans when the ball goes out and they start singing the set pieces and they start singing. This. You are dead. I didn't feel that.
Let me take this call and come back to this.
Please, how are you doing?
I'm good. Your name is?
Oh, Sally. I'm Tony. I'm calling from. I usually call from Adabraka, but currently I'm at Boko.
Hey, I hope you are safe.
Oh, my God, I'm safe. I'm safe. But I can't do away with Sporty. Whatever it is, I have to manage and listen to you. Anyway,
let's hear you.
I came to visit a parent, so I'll be back to Accra very soon.
Yeah, okay.
You know something? Those days, I don't think I was old enough. I was just born around 92, thereabouts. So maybe I didn't have opportunity watching my legend in the studio. But the little I grew up hearing about House of Folk, it made me love or fall in love with House of Folk, especially you hear a player like Dankwe, Lorisa J, Lorisa Jatete, Abdul mention them, Dombote. Like, you can easily close your eyes and give a lineup. You understand? The names was household names. As I'm speaking to you now, though I'm a club-based guy, I don't know House of Folk first 11. If you ask me right now to mention their best 3 players, honestly, it's not this goalkeeper that went to Black Star. I didn't even know that he's a House of Folk player. I didn't even know. You understand? So, more like House of Folk was a traditional club. You understand? It got to a time, people forgotten that the Olympics is even a traditional club in Accra. It's all about House of Folk. But now, this Odo says, and mentioned the other guy, almost a team is almost bona fide property. Like, almost set him, Almost set him, Who can say, also for that? Somebody buy shares. Now the team is somebody's property. It's not for the community again. Forget about the name. Now House of Folk is somebody's property. So the love and the passion that people used to have for House of Folk, it's not there. Let me tell you the honest truth. Sunday like this, when you come to Adabaka, So that make it I was Sunday special or old Catapa Holy we and Namosa. Science is open empty stadium for a class for stadium. Nobody will go back. Gone are the days Uber couldn't afford to score a scoreboard. You see, people want to watch a class. So what is missing? What is missing? See this legend in the studio. What is wrong with them calling this man to come on board to bring this idea? Because by the true passionate and true blood of Hasselhoff, Wabobida, Wababodi, but Obia Fatim, Masa, let me tell you something. Money is not everything. No. Money. If you want to know money is not everything, Paris Saint-Germain, or Pompisika Guma still no to mean Champions League unless they get right people to do the right thing. If not that, forget to ask folk will be like Odoku Royals. I swear, if not that, ask folk Odoku Royals will be better. Charlie, it's so painful. It's so painful. It's so painful.
I can feel the passion. I can feel the passion. Anil Sabute in Germany, who sends me a message every time we are on this show. He says, amazing interview with Yaw Preko. Ask him about Shamokwe and his powdered face and whether he ever discussed with them the antics before the games. And by the way, where is Owusu Benson?
Owusu is in Switzerland.
Owusu is Yaw Preko's brother, so he's in Switzerland. But they said, Shamo, did he ever discuss? No,
Shamo, I remember it was against Sutra.
Yeah.
Sutra across Sports Stadium, and he didn't tell anybody. It was just instincts, He asked for the powder. It was when we were about to go out. He just asked, "Go get me powder." One of the officials, "Go get me powder," and we had then people that you can send, and they will get you shabu shabu and yahusu and atao powder and again so try and then he knows people are afraid of him.
Yeah,
and. Sometimes he doesn't do anything.
Right, there's a story about his mother being a fetish priestess and all those things. So
Shamo, when you give him Puma, Adidas, he will take the Adidas is made out of 3 stripes.
Yeah,
right? He will take the 2 and leave the middle one.
Why?
That is him. You take the 2
psychological.
Psychological. And because I used to give him boots when I come on holidays, he would drive to my place with his Carina.
Yeah.
And Carina 2. He would come there, and immediately I give it and and sometimes we go to camp on Saturdays. We don't train on Saturday. We go to camp on Friday. We don't train on Saturdays, and you will not go to camp with us. You come on Saturday. He come on Saturday, and when immediately he comes, and immediately it comes from Samuel's mouth.
Everybody is.
Oh, Charlie, my confidence is over 1,000%.
I know.
And sometimes he doesn't do anything. Everybody, we know, but he was a magician. The foot. He's not the kind of player you said, oh, he's just scoring by flukes. You can see the intention. This
deliberately
done, he chipping balls over the goalkeeper. You can say
he had a big brain.
This is magic. No. But
he had a big brain.
But because his mother was a fetish priest, he liked to scare. But whatever he does outside, we don't know. But trust me, on the pitch, he was a magician.
Let me take this last call and then I'll come back. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, there's nobody here yet, but let me just ask you this question. There is a question on Facebook. It says, which defender never gave you breathing space, both locally and internationally? It's when the man how I dream.
Yeah. In local, international, I can say. I think. Okay, when I played in Turkey, there was a defender played for Galatasaray. Fatih is the name. Okay, the guy had speed, He can jump. He can win balls. And I spent 6 years in Turkey, and every time I meet him, I struggle to perform. And but on the international scene, on the right side, I didn't meet any defender that I would say, because my style was different. So I will not wait for you there. I'll take you in.
Yeah.
You know.
But
locally. Oh, I met men. I met men, especially when you're playing for House of Folk. I met men. I remember we played Kotoko. I played when I met Ampia and Frimpong. Yes. And I moved to the middle, and a pass was coming to me. And I tried to block Frimpong, and then you know how he talked. Oh, there's someone I just want to come and you know, I like teasing players, you know, with my speed. And Kwesi Apia, you know, at my first the one we lost by penalty, you know, he kicked me. Kwesi deliberately kicked me, and I thought he was going to give me a hand, and he didn't. And he jogged and left, and I was like, "Hey, Sana, you know, when you meet them, you know the Kwame Pokus.
Yeah.
You know, every team you play against, you meet a player, and Kwame gave me. We played corners, and I remember I struggled. Isaac was playing for Cornerstone, but Kwame gave me one hell of a, you know, it was like Starless against, you know, Starless against a Satellite.
Yeah.
And it was difficult to beat Kwame Poku. And because Kwame had speed. Kwame had speed. And, you know, the Frimpongs, when they want you to go on the ball, but if they put the ball behind, you know, it's always difficult for them. But I remember Kwame Poku gave me one hell of a time, you know, when we played Cornerstone.
Right. Did you ever play against Openia Boaje and Ajimendria?
I did. Okoro United. You see the mark there.
They gave you the mark.
Yes. In Koko.
I see.
Yeah.
Okoro that time they had a squad.
God.
Ibrahim Meriga and Alaji Bello and co.
Yeah.
Somebody says, does he have the intentions of working for Kotoko when he's approached?
I'm a professional coach, so why not?
Okay, somebody's also asking, was Yaw Preko part of Satellite 1993 group? Yes, he was. Yaw Preko, the most gentle player ever on the pitch, but will still keep the job nicely done. Okay, this is at South Korea. Good morning. Where is Olabode Williams? Oh, Olabode Williams is around.
Still around.
Yes, I speak to him sometimes. He's in Bubuashi. He's one of my very good friends. I speak to him. Olabode Williams, another tough and a crazy player ever. You would always love to watch him punishing strikers on any day.
It was too much.
Yes, I remember Olabode so much. I always say this, and a lot of people probably will not understand, but I keep saying this, that if you put those days, if you put Olabode Williams, not when he was declining, but if you put Olabode at his peak, and you put Abedi Pele at his peak, Olabode was better than Abedi Pele.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Olabode was better than Abedi Pele.
Ola was like Ronaldinho.
Yes, was better than Abedi Pele. Abedi Pele had different things.
Yes.
You know, was different, had different things. And Abedi Pele, it was more also of discipline.
Yes.
And the hunger.
Beautiful.
That took him to where he got to.
And he was learning every day. Ola had the flair, like you said, like Ronaldinho, you know, going past defenders as if they are not there.
Yeah.
You know, Maestro changed his style because every time he was a 6, you know, then he became 10. And when the competition became tougher, you see Maestro alive. He'll come to life. Ola started declining because, you know, I think energy-wise, he thought I have the flair and I shouldn't work too much.
Too much for it.
And so when the game started changing,
we started passing.
passing.
You saw Mohamed Polo.
Oh,
Describe Mohamed Polo in one word before we go.
Professor. Professor.
Mohamed Ahmed Polo.
I thought we played Sutra in Ivory Coast. And I was sitting on the bench and I asked the officials. We played 90 minutes, and 90 minutes he didn't miss one ball. And he was dribbling the Ivorians as if they were not there. And one of our officials, I forgot his name. And I asked him, "Did you see Polo in the 70s?" He said, "Yeah, what he's doing, is just this one is just 30% of what he was doing in the
Polo and Lionel Messi.
I didn't see. I've only seen Messi on screen, but those who train with him can. But I trained with Polo, and I played with Polo. Charlie,
it's something else.
Charlie, Polo. You can't describe unless when Henry and the rest are describing this Ronaldo, Messi challenge. They talk about. Unless you played with Polo, you trained with him, and you see the real magic in him.
Yeah.
Like when we describe Abedi, the spaghetti boys or the Indomie boys,
they don't understand.
They don't understand Abedi. Abedi is not just Dede and Jordan's father.
No.
When you know Abedi,
yes,
until you train with Abedi the whole week and play matches with him, when things go tough, then you see the maestro himself will come to light.
You won silver in 1992.
Yes.
You were part of also the Black Stars in Senegal.
Yes, Senegal.
Okay.
That was my first this. And forget I might be the only Ghanaian to have scored hat-trick twice for Black Stars.
You scored against Niger.
The
5-1.
And Eritrea. Yeah. Nobody has yet beaten that record.
Yaw Preko.
The one and only.
Charlie, I'd like to thank you so much. We've had a beautiful evening. It's been lovely. You know, when I see you guys, I try to remember some of the things.
Oh, Charlie.
Try to remember some of the things.
I've enjoyed myself.
Yes, I've had a beautiful time with you, spending time with you as well. Thank you so much. We wish you all the best in your coaching career now.
Yes.
And we are hoping to see you, Coach Kotoko, one day.
By His grace.